guy. Well, thanks so much, Sarah and Jerry, for inviting me to participate with you, not only today, but some of the other activities you've got going. I appreciate it. And I also thank you what you guys do day in and day out for the community. And parts of the community that wouldn't have as much access if you guys weren't working so hard to make sure everybody gets invited. With a name like Rodo Sofranac, it's always an easy icebreaker because they say, where the heck did you come from? And I think that's where my desire or understanding of diversity and inclusion started way back when. I was born in Montenegro. At the time, the country was called Yugoslavia, and then in the 90s it broke up, and Montenegro is its own little country. But I was a product of a mixed marriage, so it was always interesting who included me and who excluded me. And so it kind of stuck in the back of my mind all the time. And then we fled actually to Austria, and then there was a different language, a different culture, and more exclusion and more inclusion, more lessons in that area. And then my folks in that decided, hey, we're going to come to the United States as refugees, and we came to beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. And again, it was a lot of lessons in inclusion and exclusion. And, you know, those lessons stuck with me, and throughout my life, it really had an impact about, you know, if you really look at each other, you know, you get past color, you get past gender, you get past sexual orientation, you get past everything else that's physical that we tend to exclude ourselves with, and understand that we're all human beings, and we all get a chance at doing the best that we can out of life, and so everybody, you know, ought to get a chance. When I came to Arizona about 40 some years ago, which is amazing. I've been here now 45 years, and I'm only 39. So it's kind of interesting. But came out, and I met a wonderful lady, and we decided to take this diversity stuff a little further. And on her dad's side, she's Native American, Zuni. And so our kids, and I think I saw one of my kids' face pop up. We're, you know, we got a nice salad blend of family and ethnicities and all the other stuff going on in our household. And it's just such a great feeling to be able to do that. We met as educators, my wife and I, but I then went into the business arena to try to make a little more money, you know, because teachers don't make that much money. And spend a lot of time there, but I continued to teach at the university level and develop programs in diversity and inclusion, critical thinking, ethics along that line. So I think the experience that I had early in life and then throughout life really were tremendous opportunities to learn about all those subjects I just mentioned. Throughout my time and learning the different languages, English is my third language, it was interesting to me, you know, how languages developed and how our understanding, how we use language to understand each other. So I liked working with young people to get them as soon as possible. And I wrote books for my children at first. And in the last few years, we started to publish. Since I'm not an artist, I found a great artist and wanted to put some art to the stories, which would make it able to be more well perceived and interesting for all the young at heart. Like
don't unmute it. He wants us muted.
Great author one time said, "There's no such thing as children's literature. Everything works for everybody." So now we're up to 8 books. I don't know if I'm on camera or not.
Mm-hmm.
I am. Okay. So the first series was Polly and the Peaputts, and I found out in my language development all the different languages rhythm, rhyme, and repetition really work well. And you'll see with the book I'm going to read up today, that Polly and the Peaputts on the Move, how we tend to latch onto it and how it's great for retention for kids and comprehension of the story, the pictures and the rhythm and the rhyme, and how well that works. So I work with Arizona Humanities and First Things First and lots of different school districts to help kids in language development, because whether it's your first or second or third or whatever language, every one of us goes through some type of language development experience. And so that's one of my efforts with the books, especially with the Polly books, to get folks really on the road to language development. The other one is a kind of fun one that called Find Your Nose. And I wanted this one to be also not just about kids learning language, but also learning about the diversity of friends that they may have and that are around them, and find out that your noses and ears and eyes and that come to all of us if we're fortunate enough. And that goes, again, beyond any kind of superficial identities that we tend to throw around. Then working with, and these are in rhythm and rhyme, but then working in not the rhythm and rhyme arena, but this other book that was so great. And I think Maddie's on the system today. And Maddie gave birth just in December to our fourth grandchild. But this book, My Maddie, My Daddy, were some of the fun experiences Maddie and I had when she was younger, and the little exchanges that we had. And because it isn't in rhythm and rhyme, it was easier to translate into another language. So a friend of mine translated this into Spanish version. And it's been real fun in that I've been able to use it with Spanish speakers that are learning English, or English speakers that want to learn Spanish, like my granddaughter who's in her 7th year of Spanish immersion. She actually helped me with parts of the book. And when I read the book at her schools up in Oregon, she's usually the reader and reads them to the non-Spanish speakers. And then the last couple of years, this was a great one that got me together with Daring Adventures, but it's the Arizona Trail book, the Red Tail Tale on the Arizona Trail. And the proceeds from this book all go to the Arizona Trail Association. And last year when my river guiding son told me about Daring Adventures, and I got a hold of Jerry and Sarah, and we talked about, gosh, you guys do some great things, get on the trail. And last October was the second Arizona Trail in a day, where we tried to cover all 800 miles in one day. People stationed all over the trail. And Daring Adventure got a bunch of folks down to Pickett's Post and did a couple miles there, which is so exciting. And the Arizona Trail Association was so excited to have y'all participate and hopefully reach out even more to the community. We've got such great treasures like the Arizona Trail and Daring Adventures. What a great group and a great avenue to participate in. So, what a great state we have. And then my latest book that just came out this January is called Saved by the Burp. And this is just a fun book of Rogilla, the gorilla, and how she loves to mime what the kids at the zoo do. And she fell in love with the snack bar, which she went to one night and ate stuff that a gorilla should not eat. So you're gonna have to read the book to find out what happened to her. So those are the books. And as Sarah mentioned, what my wife and I chose to do, my wife is an educator for 41 years. And what we chose to do is with any of the profits that we make off any of the books, we recycle those profits into printing more books and donating those books to agencies like Daring Adventure and Brain Injury Alliance. We've donated books to. We've donated to over 130 organizations on 5 continents. So wherever friends go traveling, or we go traveling, or where the kids go, we always load them up with a few books and say, hey, get kids reading, get them understanding, get them to be accepting and inclusive in how they see life. And so it's been an incredible treat for us to do that and interact with so many neat people. Um, you know, that's, as they say, the commercials, so that's just been priceless. So, so we're going to keep doing it. Getting a little tougher right now, but we're going to keep doing it. So,
That's awesome.
Sarah, that's probably way more than you wanted to hear, but
No, that was
anybody have
great.
any
That was awesome. That
questions?
gave us an overview. And hopefully afterwards, they'll go check out some more of your books.
Yeah, you can, got a website, you can get them for me and I'll inscribe them for you and even pay the postage. If I can't
Awesome.
meet you in person.
All righty. So now everyone, Rodo is going to read us Polly and the Peaputts on the Move. So why don't you just give us a little brief synopsis and then you can go ahead and start.
Yeah. One of the things, you know, with, like I said, with the Peaputts stories, we wanted to really expose kids to diversity and inclusiveness and lessons in life. I'm still teaching ethics, I guess, but how important it is to learn about one another. So what we did with Polly and the Peaputts, I wanted a book that gets us a little away from the TV and from just sitting there, not just the kids, but also their caretakers and family members and friends, just like with the Arizona Trail. And so what I wanted to do, and I've had very good friends over the years that have had issues with disability. And the thing that impressed me the most was that it didn't deter them from joining me and some of the adventures that I had. And we came up with. We helped each other. I learned, they learned, we got together and became friends. And the biggest lesson I think I learned out of inclusion, to me, the most important aspect of inclusion is the invitation. As I said, from my experiences, and sometimes folks even well-intentioned, I remember in college, it still sticks with me. And I was a kid that got into a prestigious school on an inner city kid opportunity scholarship. And some of the friends I made were much wealthier to me. And I remember one time a friend of mine said, they came back from an event, some of the other friends and that, and I said, hey, why didn't you guys tell me about it? And they said, well, we knew you couldn't afford it. And I always thought, geez, why didn't you at least invite me and let me decide? So that stuck with me, and my kids have worked in lots of different populations too, and they always said, man, you're so right, Dad. It's the invitation that counts. That person can then decide whether they want to participate or not, but don't make up their mind for them. Let them decide that. And so what I wanted to do with the book, and it's a little twofold, and my books are a little bit longer, but they go real fast just because of the rhythm rhyming aspect. But what I wanted to do in this book is really get kids interested in moving, to get out and do something. And then the character I have here, Polly's friend, is Kikiriki, and he has to move around in a wheelchair. And so I wanted to also, and it's been such a great book to use in different school settings, especially with young people, to talk about what happens when you have friends in wheelchairs and that, and how inclusive are you of them, and do you invite them to participate with you and let them decide if they want to or not. So it's been a real fun introductory book. Sounds like I'm tooting my own horn here too much, but it's a great one to use that. So that was the intent of the book, and it's working so far, at least from my perspective. So hope you agree.
Awesome.
So welcome back to Peaputt Place, where the Peaputts wait for you. They look forward to your visits. Sharing stories makes them true. Here's a tale of how diversely Peaputts move and work and play. You will delight in things that stir them. Now sit back, enjoy your stay. Yes, the Peaputts are quite lively. Give you a chance to move that page up. Yes, the Peaputts are quite lively. Up a mountain, down a stream or a river, huh, Jerry? Running, dancing, skipping, jumping, climbing trees, or crawling tween. You will never find them sitting and just staring very long. Moving Peaputts feel much better. Plus, it helps them get along. Peaputt parks are perfect places slippery slides and balance beams, rugged ropes and teeter-totters, swaying swings bring joyous screams. You can see I love alliteration too. Peaputts go both fast and slowly. Trains and planes are in a car, bikes and boats, and also buses, mostly walking, near and far. You can see them in a little airplane there
Yeah.
and the bus. Roads and lanes are made in two ways. One is level, smooth as glass, rolled and pressed and flat as pancakes, even straight like new mowed grass. Now the other is somewhat bumpy, made with peanuts shaped like bricks. Peanut butter's dabbed between them, nice and snug. Make sure it sticks. In creating these books, and as other books develop, it's fun to see what other folks say during my readings, and then I'll incorporate some of their suggestions and ideas in future book. And there's a bunch of little lines that came out of here when I was first writing this for my kids and their friends. On this route, you won't go hungry if you're lost or far from home. You can nibble back to safety. Peaputts call it gobblestone. All the names of Peaputt paths make you really want to eat. Roasted row and toasted terrace, creamy circle, chunky street. How many of you are smooth peanut butter?
Peanut butter.
Chunky here.
Or chunky? Salty Strip or Tasty Trail and Dry Roast Drive are in there too. Rocky Road and Peanut Parkway and Aroma Avenue. There are more of all these highways. Makes not drooling very hard. That's because the two main streets, of course, are Smooth and Crunchy Boulevard. So I get some crunchy fans and some smooth fans, right? And because of Peaput action, there's a spot that won't go grass. It's the center of the village, right where Smooth and Crunchy cross. Up and down and back and forth, north and south and east and west, Peaputts move around the village in the ways that they like best. Walking is their favorite, stretches muscles, clears the head, lets you see things more closely, talk or sing or dream instead. From the early bird of morning till the sun begins to fade, you will find them all enjoying the old Peaput promenade. And I've already marked up this book, Jerry and Sarah, for the next edition, where I can even include some of the pictures of diversity much sooner than waiting for Kikiriki. So thanks for the suggestions.
Yeah.
After walking, next is cycling, whether school or work or play. Peaput pedal power pushes all the cycles every way. Pay no mind to what the size is, whether wheels are one or few. You are skilled or a beginner. There's a puttsicle for you. If you want to take your daisy down Aroma Avenue, you can do it. It's no problem on a puttsicle for two. Cars and buses, trucks and tractors, Peaput perfect all the way. But the fastest moving auto is the Peaput Chevrolet. So that was a line that was given to me by one of the kids, the Chevrolet.
Chevrolet.
Now it's true, not every Peaput moves around this Peaput place on the same streets at the same time, not the same way or same pace. One of Polly's best of buddies, Kikiriki is his name, shows one more great example that no two Peaputts are the same. And here's my former languages that came fun. Kikiriki is the Serbian word for peanut. I used to say that at home. My kids, especially Madeline, say who's on here, I think, she used to love that word. She used it all over the place. And so I said, hey, what a better name to give her buddy, especially with all this peanut stuff, is Kikiriki. And my family in Montenegro and Serbia, and they just love it. They said, hey, use a few more words.
That's cool.
With a dimpled chin, hair like chunky peanut butter. It is also kind of long, so when breezes tends to flutter. For a Peaputt, he's got huge arms, two big eyes, one blue, one green. Did you ever know somebody that had two different colored eyes? I had a friend like that once. I thought, man, now that is cool. Kikiriki smiles so massive that his ears cannot be seen. What a smile, huh? He can laugh and cry and hear well. He can see and really talk. But from when he was a baby, Kikiriki could not walk. Sometimes crutches or a walker help him get from here to there, but to move around much faster, he will use his pee-wheel chair. Of course, it had to be someone with peanut, right?
Yeah.
Polly loves her Kikiriki for so very many reasons, but especially because it seems like there are never whining seasons. Or at times he did get tired and show other feelings too. What kid doesn't get exhausted when some things are hard to do? That he didn't make that jump, huh?
No.
Or is he going to give up?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Kikiriki would breathe deeply, maybe even count to 10. I can do it, he would whisper, then would always try again. Polly many lessons, and for him, she did the same. That's what friends do for each other. Help them learn to play the game. He's making it this time, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it should be the other way around, though.
What's that?
She should be like pulling him straight through.
Nah, he wants to lead, Sarah. Just like any Peaputt kiddo, Kikiriki loved to play. After school or with his chores done, it is part of every day. Peaputt pageants, parties, picnics, they are tons and tons of fun. Games with riding, racing, running. Lots of contests to be won.
Kind of like a river rampage.
One such contest is a thriller. Yeah, it's a perfect two-putt sport. Like the bobsled, one putt pushes while the other steers support. Polly and young Kikiriki, this was a perfect match. She could be the finest pusher. He could steer with great dispatch. Uh-oh, what are they getting into? There they go, working it out, getting ready. There was just a tiny difference. That gave Polly quite a chill. Almost all the toughest pushing had to be done straight uphill. They decided they would enter, but they had a lot to do. Polly's muscles needed tuning. Kikiriki's wagon too. So she's working up to do the pushing. He's making
I
sure
just
the
can't
wagon
hear
is
him.
running really well, all right?
I don't know. Guys, come here.
I don't know why you weren't.
So together they got ready for what seemed almost a year. Polly practiced push positions. Kikiriki trained to steer. He became a crafty pilot, spruced up wagon, watch in hand. Both their arms and legs grew solid. Oh, the feeling was so grand.
She got stronger.
After pushing to the hilltop, Polly jumped on for the ride. Then together they zoomed downward. Like an eagle they did glide. Nearly each try they got better. Kiki guided, Polly shoved. They would time their practice tryouts, getting faster, what they loved. Woohoo!
Yeah.
After one especially good run, Kiki turned and with a burst said, I know in certain contests I will never come in first, but in each and every effort, doesn't matter how I move, just like all the other Peaputts, if I try, I can improve. So he didn't worry about, hey, well, am I going to win everything, right?
Absolutely.
If I get better, that's what really counts. When the pageant day transpired, all the Peaputts came to cheer. Kikiriki rolled up proudly. Polly's eyes were filled with fear. Team by team, they all stepped forward at the bottom of the hill. When the starter roared, get going, that's when all felt such a thrill. When their turn came, they got going. Both knew what was now their job. Kikiriki started pushing. Kikiriki yelled, start pushing, as he pressed his stopwatch knob. As she pushed him up the hillside, Polly's fear turned into grit. She was Kikiriki's partner. Just like him, she would not quit. Yeah. So you guys hear the words. That's what rhyme help, that helps you learn to predict, which is such a great skill. PB, 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 he kept yelling, almost rude. Peanut butter? Polly questioned. It's no time to think of food. PB's not about the peanut, as they started their descent. Personal best, yelled Kikiriki. That's our goal for this event. So instead of peanut butter, the PB stood for personal best. Well, his buddy cheering. Here they go, huh? Down the hill they came a-flying. Every second ticked away. All the Peaputts watched and wondered how this team would do that day. Sure, it's fun to be in first place and to sometimes beat the rest, but the challenge they accomplished, they improved, they did their best. Whoa. It is not about the contest. That is not the biggest deal. It is all about improving and how learning makes you feel. What a story, Kikiriki. Peaputt Place has others too. It's a great place you can visit when nothing else is moving you. That's it.
Cool.
Yay.
So you won the race.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Back here,
Rodo. Do we have any questions for Rodo about anything in the book? Or about the way he writes or anything?
Where can people go to purchase the books?
You can, there's some place that have it, retail-wise, Arizona. I don't put it on Amazon because Amazon keeps a lot of the money. So I have my own website and you can purchase it from there. And, you know, I can inscribe it how you'd like and I'll pay for the postage. And then, as I mentioned, the 100% of our profits, my wife and I don't keep a penny of it. We print more books and distribute those to agencies that can use them for fundraisers and learning experiences and other nonprofits and that.
Well, thank you.
The website, rotowrites.com.
So if anyone is seeing my screen right now, I brought it up. This is Rodo's personal website. It gives you a little bit further about each book and what they're about. You can buy them straight from his website. And then it also talks to you about where you could get them elsewhere, what he does, and really the mission behind what he does and who he gives to. It is
And if you
Rodo.
have suggestions on people who would benefit from a donation or that, please let me know that it's not just about buying the book. Also help us get the word out to folks. So
Very cool.
Rodo, thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it.
absolutely, like I say, I love working with you guys and what you do in the community day in and day out, Jerry and Sarah. So thank you guys. And anytime I can help, let me know. And you know, whether it's via technology or in person, you know, we like to live life with great people. That's
Yeah.
life. So thank you.
Definitely.
Yes, and thank you, Rodo, so much for writing books that really, really kind of point out some important concepts of like inclusion, perseverance, and like goal setting, and always trying to improve.
Yep, you bet.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Very cool.
No, I have a
Alrighty,
question.
Nora, go ahead.
Yeah, my screen is all white. How come?
I think it's because I'm sharing a screen right now. I'm gonna stop sharing so that you can
Oh,
see
sorry,
everybody.
that's okay. I just wondered, thank you. Wonderful.
Alrighty, any more questions for Rodo?
Enjoyed
Alrighty.
it. Thank you.
Thanks.
No
Thanks
problem.
for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
much for joining us. So we're going to be having more of these in July, and you guys are all welcome to join them as well. We're going to have some about exoskeleton trials. We're going to have them on a sunset hike. So I'm actually going to do a hike virtually for everyone to kind of see. And then we're going to do campfire stories by a campfire. I'm going to actually have a campfire for us, maybe even sing some campfire songs as well. I'm going to have ones on edible plants and edible flowers in Arizona. And then we'll have quite a few more in August that are going to be coming up as well. And I would love to see anybody that would be interested in
Sarah, have you got a list together?
Yes, I'm going to be making a flyer and I'm going to be sending it out in the beginning of July.
Okay, so we can put it in our newsletter.
Absolutely. I would love to and have that get out there.
Okay, yeah, if you have it done before July, would be good.
I'm trying to have it done by the end of next week. So
Okay.
I will try to get it to you as soon as I can.
Sweet.
Awesome. Thank you everybody for joining.
Hey, Sarah, you know, and I'm going to do with some other groups, I'm going to do some other ones of that, and I'll be glad to send you information on it if folks want to.
He's the one that wrote this.
Absolutely. I would love to. That way I can just at least just continue to share that information out. I think as much as possible, any virtual or social events that I can give to people just so that they can stay connected with everyone and keep getting involved into things so that we can stay socially connected because I mean right now it's just it's really easy to sink into that social isolation due to quarantine, so it's super important.
And the more I tell people about Daring Adventures, the more they get excited, you know, that you guys exist and some of the other groups exist as well. So it's really neat that you guys have built that coalition. What a great effort that is, you know.
Yeah, and I'm excited too. And you should be getting that email soon, but our Disability Resource Connection is going to meet soon. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to kind of talk about a little bit more about things virtually, social distancing, what things we're going to look like more in the future.
Great.
That meeting's in June or July, or no,
It's
August.
in August 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it on my calendar.
Alrighty.
Hi, Karen.
Awesome.
But we have a lot of new faces, so you guys keep joining us every Wednesday.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm going to be having a group from U of A come in and they did research. Joe's actually on here and I've gotten permission from his mom to kind of share that he was actually a part of this research project. And I'm going to have them kind of come on and talk about how exoskeleton can really help with gait, movement, range of motion, flexibility, and strength and endurance. So I'm really excited to get them on here and kind of talk about that. And that would be super cool, Karen, to get some people from AZ Spinal Cord Injury Association on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
well.
I know Dan Bonarotti, I don't know if he does the EXO or one of the other ones. He has one in his rehab.
That's
right next-
awesome. Yeah, so this one that they're gonna be talking about is it's from the knees down,
Oh,
and they put it on, and I think for this one is actually for cerebral palsy.
oh,
And it's interesting how, because I was always used to the full body one, right?
right.
That's what you think of when you hear of it. But this one is only for the knee down, and it's really to work on getting the nerves in the calves to fire.
Ah,
Yeah, so what they did was they put Joe on a treadmill and they had him walk with the exoskeleton on. And they had him like kind of attached to the treadmill. And over a period of time, he was able to work up a little bit muscle. His muscle started firing and his muscle was able to get stronger. And you can actually see the definition in his
oh,
calves.
cool.
Yeah, grow
It
throughout
is
the whole
awesome.
process of it.
Yeah, I've got a grandson with CP, so it's good news.
Yeah, so it's going to be some pretty interesting findings that I'm really excited to hear about all the different things that they found from that study.
Yeah.
So that's the next thing that's coming up. So I'll be sending out that promotion really soon.
And I
Okay.
think to keep things mixed up, and since strawberries are in season, I think we're going to be having somebody that's going to show us how to make the perfect chocolate covered strawberry. That will be coming up soon too. So
Ooh.
keep an eye
I
out.
should recruit my mother for that.
You dipped
Oh,
I
your
was
mother
also
does
recruiting your mother
that?
for some drying flowers, making some edible flowers.
Yeah.
Marianne, we could have used you when I worked in Rocky Mountain Chocolate
Oh,
Factory.
boy.
We dipped hundreds of berries for Valentine's Day.
Well, I'm
Oh, Rocky
sorry, you
Mountain,
can't
I'm
be
gonna
like
have to go.
smell-o-vision or taste-o-vision, but
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
I know, it's called, we'll all line up in our cars in front of the house.
A drive-by.
Kind of
That's
like
so
when
true.
Carrie did.
Yeah, so her session's called Crafty Me. So she'll be on, I think, frequently with different crafty items.
Let me know if you need
There's
any
chocolate.
ideas or help.
I know. So cool.
okay.
Alrighty, awesome. It was so
Cool.
awesome seeing you guys all again, and I hope to see you guys all next week.
Okay, Sarah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks again.
everyone.
Bye.
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 Thanks, Rodo.
Thank you.